Charlie. What's up? Good morning. All right, we're live. Let me pull up the comments over here on StreamYard so we can see anyone who's talking to us on social media. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to just kind of clear up my little watch list here. And before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take my 3910. Okay, I'm going to divide that by 4 to get 978. And that tells me how many dollars I'm willing to commit maximum to each of these trades today. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and clear out my watch list from previous trading session. And we're going to go ahead and just make ourselves new. So obviously IVF is going to go on the list. We like that one. It's got all the juice for today. SHPH, I think I've traded this one before. We like it, but I don't. Yeah, I like it. I've been persuaded. TWG, I love this one. I've already got all the levels drawn, and look at how nicely it respects those. That was from a long time ago. CRVS blasted out of the last box we drew as well. I like this one. So that's 4 tickers right there. I don't really think I'm going to add too many more here. I don't really see anything juicy. So then I'm going to switch this over to the 1 day. click that, and we're ready to go. So all 4 of these are still in the top 4, and I'm just looking to use my hotkeys or my Turbo Trader button here. So I'm just going to look to push this button, get my 2%, and get out. So they're going to be very quick trades, very simple trades, and I think we're going to have a pretty good time. So Satan Donkey, what's going on, buddy? Didn't see you at all over the weekend. What's going on? Were you playing games I wasn't playing? Elizabeth, already done an IVF 1.26. Nice. Nice. All right, so this one here, I got a wall at 1330, just popped. This is CRVS. I'm going to grab, oh, no, I can't because this one's over my threshold. My bad. Anyway, I would have just got my 2% right there. It's over my threshold, so I can't trade that one. I think I'm probably just going to watch IVF and SHPH here. So I'm going to let IVF kind of do its thing. SPHP, if that can get over probably the wick of this candle here, I might grab a piece. So for this one, I'm going to get like 2 shares because, again, I have to be limited. Actually, you know what? I'll just put these side by side. Let's just do that. It'll be a little easier. So I'll do IVF on the left, and I'll do SHPH on the right. All right. So SHPH, I'm just looking for a break over this line here, and I got this one selected. It's got the blue border around it. You guys might not be able to see that very clearly. And this one here, if this can pop over like 392, I'll just pop in and grab some of that one. It hit 392. Let's see if it wants to push up any higher. So I'm kind of watching the wall here. I'm just looking for a quick pop up to, it wants to get up to 4, but more likely to see a pullback before then. So I just want to catch 392 up to maybe $4. And that's on IVF. So basically just whichever one of these goes first, I'm going to grab my piece on. How's everyone's weekend? I was here yesterday. I live streamed and stuff. We talked through a really cool tool that I like to use in Premium. I'm gonna get ready here in SPHP. Looks like it's pushing up to my entry threshold. Just watching the 420, 422. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my piece right here, and we'll zoom in so we can see it. And each of these I'm willing to add 1 extra buy to if I want to, but I don't have to. So I'm not in IVF, I'm in SHPH. And for this one, I'm just kind of waiting for it to pull back for IVF. I got to stop saying this one because you guys don't know what I'm talking about. For IVF, I'm looking for it to pull back up. All right, so SHPH, I hit my target. So that was a quick in and out. And then getting ready here, we might have our push on IVF as soon as that pops over. All right, at 393, I was looking for a pop over 392. And we're seeking, 2% up to $4. So pretty straightforward stuff on that one. SHPH is kind of pulling down a little bit, but it's still in range. So we'll see if that one wants to push back up to the upside. Okay, let me catch up on the chat here. I see the brand said too short. Yeah, I hear you, man. It was a quick one, even though it was a long one. What'd you end up doing? Were you staying home chilling? Or just getting a lot of stuff done that you can't do during the week? I might grab another piece here of SHPH. I'm going to grab a piece right here. A little bit anticipatory, a little bit riskier, but I I like it here, and I like what I'm seeing in the order book. Chris M just totally crushed it with IWM puts. You got $7,500, sir. Those are rookie numbers. I'm just kidding. Look at that. Boom. And that's for the day, and you're all done, right? You're not going to give those profits back. Oh, you still have 10 contracts open. What an animal. Well, congrats, man. How big of a risk did you take to get those? Was it the same risk you take every day? Was it responsible? Way too big? Okay. Well, that's something we can identify, right? So I'm glad you got a bunch of money out of it, but I want to make sure that number isn't negative next time. Then maybe bigger, right? No trading for this week. I love it. All right. I'll hold you to it, man. So if you come in here tomorrow, I'm still going to be happy for you if you made a trade and walked away with a profit, but we're not going to let it go. So that's awesome, man. Congrats. The IRS is very pleased to see your progress. So good stuff, man. But again, yeah, let's focus on that decision making. I think we'll be good to go. You obviously can identify the setups, right? It's just a matter of how much advantage you take of them. There you go. Happy with the result, not necessarily the method. Good stuff, man. Well, congrats either way. You're gonna never remember who out of office is. I'm always just gonna call him Chris M. It's like Twitter. It's always gonna be Twitter to me. I can't help it. All right, so for SHPH, we're getting a little bit of a pull down here. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. This box here got punctured, but I'm going to wait because I want to walk the price down. I don't want to just buy it because it tapped my box. Okay, so it's already pulling back up. That's fine, but I want to see a box. I want to see a candle puncture the box and then walk the highs of those candles down, and then to see that pattern break. So a higher high from candle to candle before I place my second buy. So it's got to be down here near the box. I don't want it to just pop over this candle here because then I'll just be in profit at that point. So if it wants to do that early and it wants to go up, that's okay. I just won't add my second buy, and we'll be good to go. Otherwise, we're just following the process. Satan Donkey says the trick to avoiding taxes is never making a profit. There's value to it. I mean, if you want to just go out and earn a salary and then throw money in the market and lose it, you get to deduct it, or maybe you can offset selling a house that's not your primary residence by, I don't know, $3,000. Go for it. I'm just kidding. That counts as legal advice. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're back in the box here. We're testing the box. Now remember, there's still plenty of room to the downside here. That's why I don't want to jump the gun on that. And we can see that the better range on this one, SHPH, sorry, there's a hospital network around here. St. Peter's Health Partners, it's SPHP. And I had to say that every day for like 3 years. So, my brain has to fight not saying that with this ticker. But the ideal zone is going to be down here. So if it holds here and wants to bounce, that's great. I'll be there for it. But let me just move my line down. There we go. And even this is pretty close, right? I want it 10% or more from my average if I'm going to add to it. So this right here is about 5.5%. So it's still pretty close to where I put my original buy. So if I can get a lower high and then watch that break, that'd be awesome. So we're just being patient with this one. And you can see we've also got IVF over here kind of doing the same thing. It's just kind of pushing down and then pulling up, pushing down and pulling up. So you like that one better? Yeah. Do we call you ooh or do we call you OOO or triple O? Or Mr. Office? Senior out. You love it all? Okay. Nice. He's out of office because he watched all the episodes. He ran out. They have to make more. The S&P 500 is a tax-deductible charity. I don't know, man. I don't know. You can certainly try to ask the IRS if that's how they view it. But I don't know. All right, so we're in the box, and this would be a nice low candle here. If we can get a close down here, then I'd move my level down. Then I'd place my second buy down there. But it's got to close. We have another 75 seconds on this candle here. See, they're both kind of pulling down, which is okay. And remember, this is like the only, this is the only scenario where this approach can ever bite you. And if you want to set your stop loss nice and tight, then it doesn't really hurt because you're not taking any drawdown. The only time that's going to bite you is if you buy it within 2% of a pivot, and then it continues to the downside. So if you don't want to deal with this, you can always just add a stop loss as well, and just keep it all nice and tight. We've got about 35 seconds left on this candle here. And then if this one wants to close down here, then I'll move my line down here, and then I can place my second order down here. Now, the trick for this is not going to be to add the second buy with the take profit. Okay, I'm going to want to buy I'm going to want to buy $10 at last price. So I'm going to do it this way because I want the if I do this and then I put a stop loss here, my average will be up here. Or my take profit, I'm sorry, but my take profit will be down here. So I'll be realizing a loss if I do it that way. All right, so there's that. So now I just need a level over here. And then I'm just going to cancel this order because I want to see where it's going to place that, that cost basis after I place my second buy. So at this point, I could put a buy stop in at 371. But I'm going to do it manually. Sorry, my microphone is like covering up half my screen too. It's way too high up. I don't know why that happened. And I still have my control 2 and control 3 for my my take profits here, my hotkeys. So interesting. All right, we got about 1:05 left on this candle here. And then if this one closes lower, I'll move the line down to the high of this candle. So I'm just walking it down. And we've got a similar setup over here in IVF. So I want to see how this one plays out first. So I'm going to go ahead and place my buy. All right, now 394 plus 2%. It's going to be 402. So I'm going to place my sell order here at 402. Fumbling here. Oh, I'm a dummy. I hate Webull so much. So I just sold for a loss on that. My brain isn't working today. I was trying to create a new order, but I haven't used that right click in so long. So I just sold for a limit order. I meant to close position and then close an order entry. But for some reason, I just hit the wrong one, and that's all that is. So overall, just lost 77 cents. Not the end of my trading career, but it is definitely something that didn't have to happen. My plan was to put a stop loss in at 402, I think it was. Or take profit, sorry. So limit sell order. So oopsie poopsie, but that's okay. And because of that, I didn't focus on this one here, and it's pulling back up. So we'll see if that one just offsets. It's those little goofs. And while that's cooking, let me just check something real quick. I just want to see how much caches we have. All right, so let's just focus on this one here. We'll see if this one wants to blast to the upside. And the goal here wouldn't be to remove this take profit and push for more profit and stuff. I'm just going to let this one play out. But we'll see if that one wants to happen. But since I just made a goof, I'm not making any more decisions for the day. So, because that's something I got to write down. So let me get my spreadsheet pulled up here as well, because that's always the next step here. So today's January 20th. So I'll do this off screen and then I'll just kind of drag it over so we're not covering up the price. Or I could just do it over here. I'll just zoom in so you guys can see it. All right, so today's the 20th. My total is probably going to be right around where I started. That should be a little bit higher because I took a 77-cent loss on the other one. And then this should be a 16-cent take profit, so it's about 50 some odd cents down. So not the best execution today, but that is okay. I am a human. I do also have some personal stuff going on, so I'm not really focused. But that was just a plain up like brain fog. I was like, so I ended up messing up my seller on that, and that's okay. But again, cool part is it's not going to hurt me too bad because it's, you know, we're within 50 cents or so, 50, 60 cents of my break even. So I'll take a quote unquote waste of the day over, you know, a bigger loss. So that's all right. And again, that's only if and when this pulls to the upside. So the goal is to make 59 cents. So we might just make that negative and just offset a day. Not a big deal. I'm just going to wait till this pushes and then I'll put that in there. But for today, I'm going to put a note in there and just say deviated, closed via limit at last instead of order entry or limit sell. And in that way, I can identify this as a deviation. So now I know that that's my specific deviation. It's an obstacle within my visual cortex to cerebellum. So there's something in the prefrontal cortex that is disrupting that process of smooth execution. So it's getting in the way, which means I need to go practice and do some drills that isolate those parts of the brain. So that's pretty easy. And I think, I don't remember if it was lifetime or premium, but I shared one with you guys that I'd like you all to practice where we do a box and we practice above and below the box. Elizabeth says, I love the spreadsheet, use it all the time. Good stuff. I use it for this account. I don't really use it for my other stuff, but that's because I don't typically, I'm usually just looking at this stuff for like a minute or two a day. I just like full port something and then I have like, I keep a very small stop loss and then just let it go like 3-4% in most cases. Helps me put my feeling in it and I love it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Trading your emotional response to stuff is just as important as, well, more important than trading the execution. All right, we're coming up on some decision territory here. We're getting some good compression on this one. Let's see if it wants to release to the upside. This is IVF, so if I zoom in and make it super dramatic, we'll just see it blast past our take profit. So let me just zoom in here and make it huge, and we'll see if we it's just gonna fly past this. That's the idea. Pew pew. All right, so we're getting a little push-pull. Looks like it's pulling down a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see when it's ready to get up here and push for a move over 4. You can see it just slipping down the order book here. So they're bouncing it between 390 and 360. So right now we're coming back up in the mid 370s, upper 370s, 380s. 390s. So they're definitely throwing some haymakers at each other. I love seeing it. Elizabeth, I got back in IVF and now finished with 1.81%. Good stuff. So you're done for the day now, right? Completely done. All right, good stuff. So you and Chris, you have limits in place now to protect those profits. That's awesome. Charlie says possible range on TWG. Still learning to pick them out before I'm in them. Looks like you could base the top and bottom of the range off the 710 candle in the 2-minute. Oh, on the 2-minute, 663 to 829. So those are your 2 ranges. The husband is still in IVF and needs it to hit. Understandable. I'm going to close the other 10 contracts, 2 bullish. Okay, that's good stuff, man. Congrats on those profits. All right, well, that's cooking. Let me go over and check out what Charlie was doing. Actually, no, I think we might still get our push here really quick. I'm just trying to make sure we have some cinematics here. Maybe I'll pull them up side by side and we can see. Let's do that. We'll pull them up side by side. All right. So what did you say, Charlie? You had the 710 candle. Okay, so 710 is over here. You're in Eastern. So you're saying this guy down here? Or the actual candle? Because I had these three drawn, and this one holds, if that's what you're pointing out. It's kind of a wide range, but it's still holding so far. So I can see it. I like it. I like it a lot. Good stuff. Look at you go, Charlie. You're getting it. Oh, my Lord. Look at this guy just slamming, just casually slamming $8,300. That's good stuff, man. Love, love, love it. And you're done. You're all done. You just paid for like 3 or 4 Traders Paradise tickets. Good stuff. So yeah, remember, keep in mind taxes. So it dibs. I don't know if that's how dibs works. Maybe. That was a ride too emotional. You didn't like it. That's understandable, man. That's big unfamiliar numbers when it comes to your trading. Or if it is familiar, it's probably a traumatic familiarity. So the fact that you identified emotions and the fact that it was stressful means you can just back off from it and then, focus on protecting yourself. So it's good stuff. You just take the money and run, dude. I can't tell you to do that, but I can tell you that if there's a bird in your hand, you don't have to go fishing around in the bush. All right, looks like we got a little bit of a cool off here on IVF. So let's see if that one is getting ready to rally here. It definitely wants to go. Like we see a lot of wicks and we see a lot of stuff on the order book here. It's just a volume thing, I think, at this point. So they keep trying to curl it back down. But every time it goes down here, it gets bought up aggressively. So there's definitely like right here. And then like right here. There's 2 big guys and they're fighting. And they both narrowly squeaked out price action over and under here. So we'll have to see this range break. But based on everything I'm seeing here, it should be breaking to the upside here pretty soon. It's just a volume thing. So we'll see if we get that move. And all 4 of our tickers are still in the top 4. So it's not even a day where things are, slipping and shuffling around. It's just volume comes in, volume comes out, but it's all pretty uniform. So it's been a pretty clean day so far. All right. Starting to get a little bit more cook on the time and sales here. So it should be any moment now. We got a pretty good setup here. The larger walls are a little bit farther apart, means that they should be willing to expand the price a little bit. So a move over 390 should trigger a pretty clean pop. They got a 382 and a 388 wall in the way. So, and then to the downside, we've got a little one here at 370, 366, a bigger one at 355 and 350. So again, just right here in this range, down below this box or above this box here. So the favor should be on the ask side pressure. So any volume that comes in, we should see a resolution should be to the upside. There's a nice little chop up on that one. It should be done for the year. 62% up in January. That's good stuff, man. You just got to recognize that it was, options and higher risk stuff. So if you can kind of throttle that back a little bit, I don't see any reason why you can't keep going. But you got to get those emotions out of your decision making. You can still have emotions, just don't let them make your decisions for you, and you'll be fine. Gonna do your damnedest to never do that again. Yeah, just you can just boil it down to, you know, appreciate the opportunity that it gave you and the profit that came with that opportunity. You know, you got hella lucky. And I'm not saying that it was lucky that you made profit. I'm saying that, boom, there we go. I got filled on IVF. You know, but you had a pretty decent setup, right? Miss Cleo spoke. Oh no, we got to keep her safe. All right, so we hit our target on IVF. So I have. Let me just switch this over here. I've got $6 basically left to trade with, so I'm just gonna see if I can pop in some of these. So I'm just gonna trade the volume real quick on this one. So it's just gonna be super quick in and out. Next pop over $4, I'm gonna grab a share. There we go. So just for a quick pop to the upside there. Elizabeth, he made his 1.54% finally since Pookie's word is golden. Oh no. I'm glad he was able to get his risk off the table there. Charlie, made you my money in time for therapy. Woohoo. All right, good stuff. Get in, get out, buddy. Get it. You talk about all of us? Oh no. You're going to get us admitted. Well, you got to do that to us, man. All right, Charlie, have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the process. Go do your thing. Drive safe. We keep getting little like sheets of snow that's turning to ice now. That's kind of annoying, but I'll take that over earthquakes and tornadoes, I guess. I don't mind it. All right. So with that said, I do have one more share here. These are just super small just because I have a little bit of settled cash, and I just kind of want to show you guys some more of the process here. I think I've got like $2 settled cash, so nothing else on this list really fits that, so I'm not going to be using up all the dollars. But I'd at least like to show you guys at least one more example here while we have somewhat of strength. So we're coming back to retest the top of this range, and we'll see if that holds. If it does, we should very easily see our pop back over 4, and we should hit our target. If not, I give a little bit back. That's okay. But overall, I'm ending negative because of that little oopsie poopsie that I had, because I was trying to set up a sell order for my take profit, and it was I ended up selling it for a loss because it was an immediate close instead of letting me put in my my sell price. So that was definitely a deviation on my part. Junjun, what's going on? He says, yeah, I definitely had a deviation on IVF. It looked really good, and I chased it. Lucky it came back to $4 for me to sell. I need to stop chasing. Yeah, that's glad you got out, right? That's what matters. And a lot of times, if someone does chase and the price, does what it wants to do, and we're not able to participate, we tend to want to force things, and then that's when people do things like canceling take profits when something does come back. And then that trade could then be green again, right? And instead of taking the profit while it's there, because they want more, it goes red again. And then it usually goes a lot worse, because then it's usually like a failed breakout or something. So the fact that you're able to lock those profits in while they were there, when it came back, that already, that sets you apart from most other traders, because they would have just kept trying to force those profits even more. Also, let me plug in my phone really quick. It's being angry. I say really quick, but it takes a minute because it's recorded at a weird angle. All right. All right, and I'm back. Look at that, getting paid to plug in my phone. Mr. OG, that's me forcing profits, getting better at stopping up. That's how you do it, man. That's what it all boils down to. We got hit on IVF, hit the target. Like that's 90% of it right there. Is just learning to accept what's in front of you, whether it's a profit or a loss. If it's a profit and you can accept that, chances are you're going to do that quite a bit. if it wasn't for my little oopsie today, like my manual execution issue, I would have had all my trades win and I would have been net positive. But since I didn't, I ended up selling something for a loss when I didn't have to. That's going to count against me, and we're going a little bit red for the day. So not the end of the world, but it's something that didn't have to happen. So that's something I can document. And I can practice a drill to work through that. Junjun, oh, you canceled your stop loss. Yeah. Well, make sure you write it down. That's all. You're human, right? The best you can do is the best you can do. So there's a reason you canceled your stop loss, even if you know you shouldn't. That's okay. It just means that there's something in there that made you do it, and it just happened to be a little bit stronger than the part that tells you not to, right? So it's all about studying those driving forces. That's the TikTok video journal. There you go. There you go. Well, okay, so I agree in your case, because you are forcing yourself to rewatch those trades and to kind of relive that experience. And there is a certain value in bringing yourself, specifically your brain, back to where those patterns emerged. But if you weren't like sitting down for some period of time and editing those videos and watching yourself do that over and over again, I'd probably try to encourage you to write it down. But you're just reliving it when you watch the videos. So that counts, I would say. But if you're not able to, like there will come a time when you're editing those videos where it's just like you're just looking at like someone else doing it. If you don't have that same attachment to the moment while you're editing those videos or reviewing them, then maybe it's time to start writing stuff down at that point, because you're not going to make progress. It doesn't have to be writing it down either. It could be, saying it into like a recording or something, just recording your voice, or talking to an object, for example. It could be something silly. Like you can hold a hat up in the air and just talk to it and just say, this is what happened. This is how I felt. Ultimately, it boils down to you falling in line with the conversation that's happening between those little parts of your brain, and then figuring out what they're saying instead of trying to shut them up, because they're talking for a reason and they're part of you. So you have to listen to yourself. Oh no, Weeble won't let you open a position. What is it? Is it trying to say that your funds haven't settled? That sucked because of the holiday. That should be done today, though. Did you have anything overnight? Did you sell anything after like 8 p.m.? Huh. That's weird. You don't have like a margin call, I assume. That'd be a different conversation. I would reach out to him because that's kind of messed up. As you can see, mine works. I was able to do stuff. Dang, okay. If this gets over $1, I might like it. Good volume, short term. Oh, you have a margin call. Okay, that might be it then, if that's the case. They might have you on like delayed settlement. That sucks either way, man. Let's check something real quick. Sorry, I just don't like to pull up my account stuff on streams. Ooh. Ooh, we got a Harami. Me likey. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at all three of those. I like it. See how they line up nicely with these guys? Got that consolidation, then just a big explosive set of moves off that zone. And then in the opposite direction as well. I like it, like it, like it. So if this one here wants to pop over like maybe 289, I'll grab a piece, just a one single share. We'll see what happens there, but I kind of like this one. Pretty low crappy volume though. Just keep that in mind. This is a ICON. It's one that we liked historically. But just grabbing another, maybe a 4 cents or something. Yeah, it's super low volume. That's not going to be the Lambo. You said there's like a mini wall here at 290 as well. Yeah, I'll maybe grab this one, then we'll recap the setups for the day, and then we'll probably wrap this one up here. Does anyone have any questions for the day? Also, how you doing, Farouk? Oh, Katie Patty. That's your trading companion right there. We love puppers. Congrats, Porter. What happened? Did you get married? Did you just join? Oh, is he winning your bet? What was your guys' ticker again? You guys both had to trade the same Boeing. Okay. You guys had to trade the same ticker and the same something, right? You had a time frame there, I think, but you guys got to choose your individual contracts, I think, if I remember. 3 months. Okay. It's in March. Okay. How far out did you set your expiration? You're down 48%? Did you guys both trade the same direction? Okay, so at least you got the bell curve. Oh, so you traded opposite directions. I gotcha. Okay. It's a bummer, man. But that's okay. You know, options are options. Now, I would say that the bigger item there would be being 48% down on the options contract. You know, we can always manage our risk. You kiss his feet. I don't know if that's part of the. I don't know if that was part of the wager. He's your master. Oh no, this is changed into something else. You also can't do spreads or sell them. That's fair. Yeah, that's an interesting arrangement you guys got there. Is that because of the contract? Or is he just making you do stuff outside? Delete your profile. He got caught. Yeah, we can't subjugate Farouk here. He's a staple good in PB. You're subjugated. Oh no. I mean, I guess. Porter says, I picked April, I think. Got to check. Went closer for more volatility since we're going by percentages. That's fair. Staple good, not a stable good. No, that's a whole different website, sir. We're not diving into that today. Charlie's at a therapy appointment, so we'll let her carry that for you. All right, looks like IVF, by the way, is just blasting off that range. So far, so good. I like it. That's probably going to halt. What's that? 5%? That should be fine. But this ramp up in volume, though, that's a little bit scary. So good stuff. Where's SHPH? All right, so yeah, we would have got our take profit on this one, but again, I sold like a derp, and that's okay. It's all part of the process. CRVS looks like it had a nice move, but no specific entry. I mean, it would have just been candle to candle, and you got a nice little 5 candle here, but right here, you've got a higher validated low. You got a higher validated low up here as well, so you wouldn't be in it at that point. But I guess the only range you'd have on this one might be that. And then you could maybe consider this one because of this guy. And then just kind of seeing how they behave historically. And then before that, there's just nothing. So I like this zone down here. There's definitely something good, magical down here. And if we go back in time, I guess we'd have to go pretty far back on this one. I don't remember where this was. I'm not going to go through all the tickers on that one or all the candles on that one, but you guys know there was something at some point. All right, let's shift back over here to Icon. Let's see if it's getting potentially ready. Remember, I got to see it pop out of that box there. Oh, there's the doctor. What's going on? How was your weekend? What kind of animals did you process? I don't want to say process. That makes it sound like a butcher house or a slaughterhouse. Spy fell to 680. Did it? Let's take a look. Oh yeah, nice little like a mud hut. That's just chaotic. Ruh-roh. I know SPX opened. That had a nice little gap to the downside. Interesting stuff. I like it. Yeah, SPX opened like way down there. We were looking at the 2 minute and it just poof, all the way down. I love it. Humans, dogs, and cats. Bills lost though. Very sad weekend. Oh no. Oh no. That's not fun. Did news come out on tariff? I'm not sure. The last news I knew of were the court didn't rule yet. They publish those on Wednesdays. So they decided there were only 3 rulings last week. And they weren't the tariff ruling. So that might be next announcement. But we shall see. But you like sports ball, the doctor? Are you watching the Super Bowl? SPY down 9 from Friday. What do I think? I think that we're in an area where it's going to get very risky, but it's not something I'd personally be willing to jump in on. Oh, good, good. Whew, not me. Good, that's good. I don't like speaking in front of the class. All right, so we're still just kind of waiting for Icon here. We got, BTTC is showing a little pop here, but nothing that doesn't have sustained volume or anything. Icon is much more active in terms of price movement. So I'm going to continue to watch that one. And then anything really below there is just kind of stagnant. So we don't really have anything up here in my $2.99, whatever range. So I'm just watching for this one to pop over 289, 290, somewhere like that. And I'll just trade it up into the gap between these zones. And then BTTC, again, has minimal volume here, but these are all like silly orders here. There's nothing major happening just yet. And I really just don't want to risk it for the biscuit after this candle. Like, it's a good setup. And I'm not saying it's not going to hit, but I just don't really like it heading into this kind of territory. So maybe if it breaks over here, oops. Maybe if it breaks over that guy, I might. Because then we'll be in flip-flop mode there. But that's going to be about it. I don't really like these two that much. I would love to see CCHH get over $1. That'd be my much happier opportunity. So I'm just going to kind of watch these and see what they do. So let me catch up here. Yeah, foosball is the devil. Don't really care too much if they win or lose. Doesn't affect my life. There you go. Yeah, that's how you do it, man. We're going to be ramping up the predictive market stuff too. And I'll show you guys how we can make money more systemically rather than, most people on there are just going to buy and sell. And, they're going to hold and see if they're right. They're going to lose their money overall because it's a very binary thing. And we want to trade it systemically, kind of like we do here, where we just get our little pieces of it and we get in and out. And we'll show you guys that system. But we got some other stuff we have to solidify before we can make that one of our focuses. But it is definitely on the runway. Spreads are doing good in markets like this. I'm sure Bull's probably crushing it, just selling contracts to people. just slamming that volatility. All right, I don't think either of these are going to push anytime soon. I just don't see the volume. Right, I like the setups; they're primed, but I don't like the lack of volume, and they're pretty far down the chain. So I'm not going to be super, super pressed to get into either of these. So we'll see. We'll see if there's a little flicker or something we can get, but looks like a lot of these are just kind of pulling down now. So with that said, let me end the live stream because I don't want people to watch nothing. So thank you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna stay in the Discord for a little bit, but I got to shut the live stream down. I'm gonna get rid of the recording, move that over so it doesn't clutter our host, and I'll do all that. So thanks for watching on the live stream. Satan Donkey, I'll see you later. We'll hang out tonight, and I'll catch you guys later. See you in Discord.